I want to say thank you to the opportunity to present our work. First of all, so the title of the presentation is the Venice Project, the digital reconstruction of the islands in the Venice Lagoon. First of all, I would like to do an overview of the project I'm working on as a member of the research team, and then I will focus on the result achieved so far. So the Venice Missology is a multi-university ERC research project involving the University of Padua, Florence, and Harvard, and that aims at representing the architectural heritage of the Venice Lagoon through an interactive 3D web map from the 16th century until now. This combines digital reconstruction of almost 30 islands out of 60 over time with their pertinent historical data. Today, much of this heritage site has disappeared or in some cases is in a state of decay. This situation makes it difficult to understand the past of these places. So I want to show you some images that testify how some of these islands were and how they are today. For example, from the same point of view, for example, the island of Madonna del Monte, how was and how is today, or San Giacomo in Paludo, Santo Spirito as well, and then the Certosa. So the intent is to explore these places and their past within a web platform using integrating methodologies by a heterogeneous group of scholars, such as architectural and art historians, as well as experts in digital surveying, GIS and BIM. This platform is meant to help users understand not only the lagoon's ancient morphology, but also how this operated and conceived itself as an integrated network. So aspects relating to geopolitics, governance, and the art that characterize these places. The methodological approach adopted in this project includes a workflow with the integration of different methodologies and digital techniques into georeferenced 2D and 3D reconstruction. The first step involves collecting all historical sources such as textual and iconographic documents, maps, drawing, paintings, and so on. Another important aspect is to obtain the current dimensional data through digital survey campaigns. And then in order to visualize the physical transformation of each settlement, the entire planimetric documentation, both historical and current, is georeferenced and investigated with GIS tool. For the digital reconstruction operation, the HB methodology is deployed because the system allows the construction of interoperable 3D models. These outcomes not only visualize the geometry of the buildings in 3 dimensions, but also embed time-based data about each buildings. For example, the data of construction and demolition, the functions, the uses, the typology, etc. So the platform is designed not only to display digital reconstruction, but also archival sources and geospatial characteristics. By applying filters and manipulating colors and then functionality labels, users can effectively visualize the information about the virtual entities. Additionally, the platform allows users to navigate through the sources used as the basis for their research listed in a sidebar called the Navigator. So as a sort of Google Maps of the past, the geospatial infrastructure invites the the users on a journey through time and space, revealing the many urban processes that shaped Venice. The platform displays a map of the whole lagoon with overlay two three-dimensional models representing the ancient landscapes. Exploration is carried out, of course, with using zoom, pen, and orbit operations, and a timeline slider allows users to select a specific point in time, displaying the historical features that correspond to the specific year. In this project, I'm personally mainly involved in the digital reconstruction part using the BIM methodology. I will now focus more on this operational aspect that you can see in this diagram, and that involve three main activities: the creation of the model representing the current building, the definition of the temporal phases, and the integration of historical data, and the modeling of historical phases and assignment of temporal parameters. The development of the model representing the current state starts with a survey, which can be either obtained from an existing survey or conducted through new surveying campaigns. In the case of digital survey, carried out with scheduled campaigns, some of which have already been completed, the typical scan-to-BIM methodology is adopted. This process allows for the creation of the current state model, which involves the typical BIM hierarchical structuring information from the sites to every single BIM object instances. The second phase allows for integrating historical documentation to define the temporal phases, especially using using documents like historical maps that are georeferenced within a GIS environment. Each historical map is used to capture, like a snapshot, the situation of the island settlement at a particular key date. These key dates are used as the beginning and the end of each historical phase within the BIM modeling software. So the modeling of historical transformation begins using all the historical material, plan, elevation, section, but also photographs, paintings that when appropriately processed, these sources can provide rigorous and reliable dimensional information. Here is an example of digital reconstruction of the bell tower on the island of Lazzaretto Vecchio, demolished around 1870 based on a photo using a software that employs assistant monocular restitution. Then, after modeling the no longer existing or demolished buildings, each individual BIM object was assigned one of the identified key dates. This process allowed to visualize temporal transformation through different views. In this slide, we can see the main phases of one of the islands currently under development, San Servolo. And then the individual instances, the BIM objects, are aggregated into higher entities, the buildings, to which all relevant characteristics are associated, such as an identification number, the dates, functions, uses, etc. Once each historical phase has been completed, the models are shared with the team on a cloud platform where the historians can make annotations or suggestions for changes and communicate them to the modelers. So at the present, the modeling process have been applied to three different islands, San Secondo, San Servolo, and Lazzaretto Vecchio. Finally, the georeferenced models are exported to the Venice platform using the open file format IFC. Here we can see an image related to the initial approaches to importing models into the Venice platform, done in collaboration with the Harvard University. And then by using the timeline slider, visibility filters can be applied, allowing the models to be viewed for each individual year. So thank you for your attention.